Alright, sorry about where are you? Okay, that works. Good evening, all. Welcome to Saturday. We'll be working a little more on Exorcist Widow again, since we can start getting into armor. So let's have some fun with that. Starting now. Oh, I literally made thumbnail template for Gunpla stuff. I probably should have had one of those prepped. Oh well. Now, will you be nice enough to actually let me the link in? No, you're not. Oh, hey there, Omega. Welcome in. Do hope the evening's treating you well. Oi. And yeah, at least when it comes down to hydration, that's going to be pretty important. All things considered, the heat is kind of nasty right now. But how are things? You enjoying yourself? I think pre-roll ads are already going. We'll just be working on some more Gunpla stuff. I'd say things are going alright. It is honestly a little too hot right now, but I just don't like the summer, so wearing any level of heat-retaining clothing is just kind of a bad idea. Unfortunately, when we're going to do stuff like this, we kind of have to follow protocol, right? But it should be alright. AC's going. I've got a fan on me as well, just to help out a little. Should have built a refrigerator mech instead. That'd be handy if you did, wouldn't it? I know the one thing I need to work on right now is just for the Gunpla streams. I'm using the good camera to actually show off all of the crafting stuff, but then I'm using a really shitty one actually for model tracking now, so kind of back down to needing the emotions to be tied to buttons. And yeah, a refrigeration mech is technically a real thing. It probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world either, all things considered. Like our refrigerated trucks, and it was Transformers to be refrigerated Admittedly, if Optimus was actually a... Let's see here. If Optimus was actually a refrigerated robot, then that would probably be a little bit better for him, all things considered. But he's just a regular bitch-ass tractor trailer, so he doesn't have much going for him, really. Yeah, we're just gonna keep working on Exorcist Widow. Model kits are just enjoyable. So there's nothing to really worry about at the end of the day. There we go. What a missed opportunity. Admittedly, yeah, there are a few things that the Transformers franchise has done a little bit incorrectly that they probably could have learned from. Yeah, couple updates for the crafting setup at least. You'll notice we got rid of the mouse pad and we actually have something you can see all the parts on. Well, except for anything lilac colored, but I think it's going to be a while before we have to worry about any lilac colored things. And I painted my nails, because fuck you, I want to be pretty. Also because I'm just experimenting with some stuff right now, so... Never hurts to just try and figure yourself out, right? Let's see here. 11? Ah, right there. Yeah. Can't say there's too much going on right now. There's the Arknights event going right now, which I know Solace and I are paying a good amount of attention to. Because we got a pretty cracked defender unit in there. So Solace and I have been enjoying the pull session, considering I got it right away, but Solace kind of had to grind a little for it. But that's usually just what happens with gacha stuff, right? You just have to worry about the draws and just gotta hope for the best. Let's see, maybe 4. Yeah, at least when it comes down to it, right? You're gonna get screwed over a little bit by RNG. So it's not like something you can just hope that you get immediately. If anything, we've got more to worry about because there should be the Rainbow Six Siege collab coming up soon as well, so that's going to be eating a lot of gamer money. Oh, it is that one that's connected. I try to avoid RNG and RPS, and probably lots of other things that begin with R. What is RPS in this case? Because obviously random number generation is pretty straightforward. Oh, I needed 16 as well from here. Oh, rock, paper, scissors. I'm not sure if I would exactly count it as the same thing. Because at least when it comes down to it... What am I looking for here? 16? Oh, there it is. There is some potential strategy when it comes to rock, paper, scissors, but it's mostly a game of mental manipulation. But the mental manipulation is not the only thing you have to worry about. Because if you can't get the mental manipulation, then yes, it is very much just RNG. Really not much you can worry about there. There we go. Granted, I'm not exactly the best example of it. I'm not fantastic with rock, paper, scissors. Really? They don't need me to glue this? That really does just fit in there. You don't have to glue that at all. Okay. I just go rock every time because it's easier to punch a guy when you lose. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? I haven't really had the opportunity to play rock, paper, scissors in a hot minute, just because it's not something that pops up a lot. There are people who would... Is that what they want me to do? Yeah, that is what they want you to do. There's a lot of people who are going to try their best, at least, when it comes down to wanting to solve a random problem like that. But not everyone always shoots for it, right? Also, by the way, the head that we're actually constructing this time has like headphones on it, so that's why the construction of the head is weird this time. The mental part of the game, dumb as it is, applies to a lot of places. Oh, it does, yeah. If you're able to actually talk someone down a little bit, then you are generally in a better position, right? Do we really have something I needed to Google Translate already? I guess it's just warning you about a specific part, which is fine. Alright, let's see here. We're starting to need the L boards. That's a good sign. L2. It's probably just saying don't eat the glue. Oh, model kits don't always have a crap ton of glue, all things considered, Omega. Also, hey there, Nano. Welcome in. Do hope the evening's treating you well. Hmm. Okay, I brought out K2 because I thought we'd need that first, but apparently I need L2. This is still part of the head, but I think this is a black board. And oh my god. I guess there is a little bit of OMG with Omega, isn't there? But how's it going, Nano? Working on any fun projects right now, or just another casual weekend for you where you can rest up a little bit? That's J2. I need L2. What color's the board for L2? It looks like it'll be a gray colored board. Gray or black? That's B. Still on that game trailer. My shot's pretty chunky. Which game trailer, if you don't mind my asking? Also, don't worry, I do have my water here. Love having it in a thermos, it's so helpful. Those are D. Oh, there's L2. Finally. Tales of the Tavern. Is that one that you showed me already by chance? Ice water, I hope. Yeah, it is ice water. I'm unfortunately the kind of person who doesn't like the natural taste of water, but you can change that very easily just by putting some ice in it, so not really anything super lost there. I did, yeah, the skipping animation. I will have to take another look then. But are you enjoying it at least? Okay, noted. I've got the keyboard later for the legs. So let's see, we need 1 and 4. May as well start with 1. Is your work in the Steam? Oh boy, if you're working on it and you don't even know that it's on Steam yet, your production squad really needs to keep you in the loop on that. Let's see. Went and immediately Googled it, and it's the second thing to show up. Welcome to the games industry. Okay, so there's 1 and 4. Isn't exactly a gray board, but that's alright. So let's see here. What was that name again? Tales of the Tavern. Hmm. Well, the 3D animation team definitely has good background work going. And yeah, that's definitely your chopping animation. We're working on the fully animated trailer. Probably a good idea. Yeah. Seems like you have launched, or your team at least, has it launched in early access, but they haven't actually made it available for purchase yet. I thought you at least had to have a purchase price on something for it to be early access. Oh well. I'll keep an eye out, and you can always just let me know. Assuming they actually tell you. Boy. I mean, when it comes down to it, right? They're not always going to be keeping you in the loop. H2. H2 should be the bigger board here, right? That's K. Is H one of the blue boards? No. Blue has H, but not H2. It's weird. I have no say on post-pro, so... Well, nothing wrong with that, right? You're at least getting into a market, and as long as this game does well, then your name will start flowing around a little bit for your animation work. That is R. I feel like I should be able to just see this board. Oops. 1 second. My organization skills admittedly need a bit of work still. H2, H2. What color are you, H2? I feel like I should have seen you by now. Jesus, there's actually a third board for A. Just a random empty bag. I thought I tossed all those out. What does it look like? I imagine it's transparent because I don't see it anywhere. Oh, I've got like much more room actually on my desk than is showing on camera. I'm just showing like the main working area for now. And I've also got the part box to the side. No, you're just the connector pieces. You know what? I shouldn't really need to be looking this long. Let's see here. Alright, so the L2 board is that one. I'm looking for H2 brain. Let's try that again. Oh, H2 is the hair layer. God, I'm fucking blind. Come on now, try and understand the way I feel when we're in your hand. Take my hand, but... Oh, no, too early. So let's see, 12, which is this one. I know how to do organization. When your eyes are used to darker background. Yeah, unfortunately. I'm just going to blame that on the fact that the desk setup kind of has to be in light mode. Trust me, if I could just invert all of the colors, then I probably would. There we go. Nice big desks for autopsies and so forth. Yeah, exactly. We just do a little bit of, like, dissection on here. That's kind of why I keep a knife handy, right? Twitch, I'm not actually doing that. Please don't bonk me. I don't even need this A board out. We're not working on the full armor just yet. Came prepared. Oh, I just keep a knife around for, like, you know, cutting the bags open, right? So let's see. It needs a longer desk. Oh boy. Why would they bonk? It's for research purposes. I don't think that you can do live autopsies on Twitch. There's a certain level of science that you can probably get away with. Probably not that. Hmm. Take a look here. Only if it's also a hot tub stream. Oh, there's so much that you can worry about when it comes down to a hot tub stream. Okay, so we want that side to go down and then connect in these two here. Sorry, I'm gonna have to look this up. Look at this closely. There we go. It is supposed to go in there, but it's an odd angle. Then we take this guy and slot it in here. Yeah, get the start of a little headset on her. Tub immediately freezes equals comedy. Do keep in mind that I'm not like an infinitely, like, I'm not like a frost god or anything. I just have a liquid nitrogen condenser in my chest. Those things don't those things put out a lot of heat. So if anything, that's why the tub is actually a hot tub in the first place. Because it's sucking out all of the heat and condensing the liquid nitrogen in there. So the cold is inside and insulated. Technically speaking, I would be pretty hot to the touch. Nah, freeze god. Eventually, maybe. Let's see. Hmm. There's like a giant empty hole in there. Is that part supposed to go in? Praise be Jude, the god of the second law of thermodynamics. I do love me some physics, so it's not too far out of the realm of possibility. There's too much Japanese text for this. Give me a sec. I just want to make sure I'm not messing something up. Let's see here. Where's lens? I need some Japanese translation, please and thanks. Oh. Okay, no, it got the right thing. I'm trying to write a bot that has some side hobby of theoretical physics. Can you lend me a part of your positronic matrix? No, I can't exactly lend you any part of that, Omega. Unfortunately, I do kind of gotta keep my tech relatively secret, lest any other incriminating evidence gets out that NASA can get a hold of. Bad translate. Assemble at the end. Change direction? Hmm. Well, those were unhelpful instructions. What do you mean assemble at the end? Alright, hold on. That does imply that that part's supposed to go in there. And it does look like it's pretty solid. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. They give you a really wide room for that piece, Jesus. Used to making progress and making her into an arrogant bitch, so there's something. Oh boy, I am afraid to ask what kind of woman you're into normally, Omega, if you're actively trying to make one that hates you. Also, yes, the Nightcore playlist is on tonight. You're gonna have to suffer with that because I needed a little bit of a serotonin boost. I need to make the most offensive AI possible. I mean, you can honestly just train it on Reddit, Omega. If you just train an AI on Reddit and don't put any filters on it, you're probably good. It honestly will not take you very long. Isn't it hard to believe we're in heaven? 'Cause baby is all that I want. Oh god, I do not remember Cascade's music at all. I used to remember these lyrics pretty quickly. Not completely inaccurate. I want to unleash her in my stream chat when I hit the affiliate button. Ah. Okay. Not a bad idea. Yeah. There we go. Those caps are admittedly pretty finicky to actually get in. And immediately getting banned. I mean, if you're just making a bitch, then you could realistically have something weird going without getting banned. Granted, you'll have to worry about, like, getting reported for bullying, but there's probably worse things out there. There we go. I know I was onto something when I asked her what should I draw tonight, and she replied that I should draw her with specific examples and reason why. Honestly, it's extremely offensive and people will, and probably will trigger people. Oh, you gotta be careful then, buddy. You generally want to be safe about those things. You're L2. I need J and O. O? Well, J is here. We're apparently grabbing the other bun. It's so funny, though. I can't resist. You gotta be careful, though, buddy. Triggering people with decent intent can still be a little bit problematic and get people very, very angry at you very quickly. Especially depending on what topics it actually tries using for it, because the internet is, you know, a place we want to keep safe. So if she's mean, that's fine. Mean can kind of work in a lot of cases. Oh. Well, hey there, Kay. Hopefully speaking the evening is going well. Welcome in. To anyone who's new, my name is Jude, your Judicial Utility Droid Mark III, here to provide you with a... Did I say that right, actually? Hold on. Let me get those out of the way.
Alright, motherfucker, you're actually a fucking dickhead. Please hunt.
There we go. That's better. Oh, you're doing Tarkov tonight. Very nice. Harsh language clip? Oh, it's fine, don't worry. Yeah, welcome. Hi. Hopefully the evening's running well. To your crew, at the very least, my name is Jude, your Judicial Utility Droid Mark III, here to provide you with a relatively comfy time while we're getting some stuff done. Right now, we're just working on some Gunpla stuff, which I'm just having trouble with because I'm blind, so I have to keep, like, bringing this directly to eye level just so I can see what I'm doing. But how is Tarkov? Did you get some extra kills? It was all fantastic until the end. Oh no. Did someone actually just completely wipe you out right near the end, or something worse. We're playing single-player Tarkov co-op. It actually has that? I didn't actually think it had single-player content tied to it. Oh, a mod. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, Tarkov is a rough game, so can't exactly fault you for maybe getting a little overwhelmed on that regard. Well, mod for a mod. I mean, isn't the best thing just radial or circular recursion? A little bit of a mod inside 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 a mod isn't really a bad thing. Then O2. I do not remember what color the board is. Oh, it's the blackboard. Okay. We need that one. I guess in that case, who was actually joining you for that one? Was it you and Air or someone else? Got almost 20 kills. It was totally chaotic, but Hestia, my fox friend I was playing with, was shooting a sniper scav far away, as you do, because, you know, fuck sniper scavs. I came around the corner and she clean took off the top of your head. Oh, that's always fun. And welcome in, Air. All good. There's nothing wrong with coming in just a little bit late. But welcome. We're definitely a little bit calmer here just because we're doing Girlpla, Gunpla-esque stuff. So y'all can just sit back and relax for a bit just while I try and figure this out. And with our new setup, too. So people can actually see all the black shit I'm using for these models. Because unsurprisingly, a lot of the cool gamer-colored looking ones are just black with accenting color, so... Kinda needed one that was more friendly for that. It's been 84 years, how you been? I'd say things have been going alright so far. Haven't been up to too much new, just because the brain can only handle so much, really. But the Gunpla setup is at least new. Also figured I'd try painting my nails for once, so you can actually see where my hands are in relation to the board, since I can be a pasty white bitch at times. But we're just chilling. We've been making some progress in Final Fantasy XIV, just because we are dealing with a project where I'm leveling basically 20 characters to... 20 levels into max. Honestly, it fits you well, I think. How do you like it? I mean, I like painting my nails to some degree. It gives me a better 3D visualization of like where my hands are supposed to be. So I'm fine with it. Can I send you a link to this time-stamped VOD to see? Yeah, sure, Kay, go right ahead. Also, is my memory working correctly? Is K how I'm supposed to pronounce it? It has been a while since I've physically chatted with you, so I don't quite have the memory. Okay, cool. Alright, thank you. Let me just get this headband on first, and I'll just check that. Although, as someone who does enjoy a good shooter, sniping is kind of up my alley, so I can understand the pain of when that can happen. It's unfortunate, but it's always funny when it does. Can you please just go in? Oh, no, there's still a giant chunk on there. Let's see. Sniping is Garbo, shotguns all the way. I am unfortunately a very calm player, so at least when it does come down to it, and the fact that my hands are not fantastic, I do need to play a little slower. Oh. Oh, that's good. That's very good. Uh, well, apologies that you ended up getting caught in the crossfire, but that is very funny, Kay. And no worries there, Air. At least when it does come to aiming, it is something you kind of learn over time, especially when you're just introing to a game where you're trying to get used to its specific mechanics. For my end, at least, I usually just hop on them immediately because, usually speaking, sniping lets me stay far enough away where I don't have to be, like, throwing my hands all over the place trying to get stuff done. And just ends up being a little more comfortable for someone whose hands hurts from playing Helldivers for 3 hours. Just gonna put this up in my face. Give me a quick second. My hands are a little too big for doing this comfortably. You know what's ironic? I used to be a sniper on Krieg from BL. BL. BL doesn't go to Battlefield, right? Borderlands, right. Were you also a Zero player then, Air? Because I know I usually stuck to Zero for the invisibility and sniping bonuses. I have a nasty accuracy at long range just with the PP-19 SMG. 107-meter sniper scav headshot the other day. Nice. Zero's your least liked character. Okay, so you weren't fishing for the sniping bonuses on them then. What did you snipe as then? Because I don't recall any of the other classes really getting it. There we go. There we go. Finally got that headband on. Krieg, he has no bonuses for snipers. He does have shotgun bonuses, though. Krieg. Man, I haven't played Borderlands 2 in a hot minute, so I don't fully recall. But shotgun bonuses are always a good thing. Oh, the Psycho. Okay. I was thinking for a second, like, Blitzkrieg? Krieg? Question mark? But yeah, that does make a good bit of sense, at least. Also plays Gage. Gage was the Necromancer, wasn't she? The Necromancer always seemed like an interesting character to actually play as, because having her brother, question mark, as a part of her team always seemed like a fun addition. Well, brother and or pet, all things considered, either can be true. There we go. I know at least for Borderlands stuff, I did tend to stick to, I think, Zero in Borderlands 2, and then was it Mordecai in Borderlands 1? Because the Hawk was always a welcome bonus to actually playing that. Hmm. Well, that's awkward. They want you to reuse the hair from here on here. That's not great. I'm surprised it doesn't recommend using one of the other hairs you have in here. You know what? Fuck it. I don't want to pull apart the other head fully, so I'll just use this one. Yeah, Mordecai is from BL1, also good with snipers, so I see I have a pattern. In almost every game that I play, it's always some kind of sniping class I end up playing, if only because of the fact that it's the slightly more methodical method of playing the games, which for something like Borderlands, it doesn't require you to run and gun for everything, so I took the opportunity. There we go. That works. Let's see here. Gonna need the O board again, which is you. I know I don't actively play a lot of FPS games lately. Whenever people do ask me to join them for like Helldivers, or right now we have a gaming group. Let's see. The Division 2, I believe, is one that we're playing right now. But like I'm not opposed to shooters, so I don't play them very often because I can't play them for very long without troubles. I would watch you construct and paint Warhammer minis. Admittedly, if Warhammer minis didn't cost me a second mortgage, I would probably do that. Also because I would probably be playing the Skaven, so I would have to be getting a lot of just natural rot for any of the kits I would want to put together. And if anything, I'd probably do like a Blood Bowl set first. Maybe make like a purple Skaven squad. Let's see. I have a Skaven starter kit, but I'm so afraid to touch it. I mean, you may as well try, right? There's nothing terribly wrong with getting started with those kits, aside from just the... I suppose the chaos that might be when they come to life. Because I know a lot of stories where the toys will just come to life and cause whatever problem possible, at least when it comes to their natural lore. Let's see here. Skaven Pestilence. Yeah, you're definitely going to need a lot of caution when it comes down to dealing with the Skaven. Do I need J2? Or L2? I need M2. Oh boy, what is M2? Is M2 one of the blue boards? So I remember this. Yep, it is. Okay, we're getting into some of the blue translucent boards again. They don't use this a lot, but there's enough usage of these. Yep. Admittedly, getting back into Warhammer just in general would be fun, conceptually, if only because of the fact that that universe is one that's just enjoyable to explore in the first place. They do a good job writing that universe, even if it is just constantly depressing. But, like, it's an enjoyable kind of depressing to read through. And if you are on the side of the villains, you at least have some benefit there, because they're not quite as sad. They just hate the world and, you know, want food or equivalent. Dude. Let's see. That's 7. I guess we need a base plate for whatever energy horns they want to give this form of the head. Dude. I know Blood Bowl is really the only Warhammer video game I own right now, but I have been trying to keep an eye out for Mechanicus, or, God, what was it? Rogue Trader Mechanicus, I believe it's called. Nano would be able to correct me on that one. But I've been wanting to grab that where possible as well. It is you. Okay. Now we get the big helmet. Dude. Alrighty. So we start with big helmet. We shove in the core piece, which is solely there to provide a blue background for the cross in her helmet. So that's a good sign. Oh, actually, no, I can't read. It does want you to put these on first. Let's see. So it wants you to put them inwards. Also, just in terms of music choice for the night, you'll have to forgive me. There are times where I just need a little bit of nightcore to keep me awake. Also, I am blind as shit. They actually wanted me to do the opposite. I usually listen to a good amount of high energy pop as long as it's spun into nightcore, so it's handy. Let's see. You do not want to click in. These 13 gotcha games dailies are not going to do themselves. All good there, Nano. All good there. Hopefully you enjoy. I guess this is a good reminder to anyone that if you do have any daily tasks you need to worry about, like video game gotchas or, I don't know, language lessons or anything like that, probably a good time to do them. I know a lot of stuff resets around, oh, geez, 8 or 9. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was a tricky one. Alright, now what do you want me to do with this? This is just supposed to plop on top of her head. And then these little dials on the side of her head are supposed to click into these. Oh, wait, no, you're supposed to do the smart thing and do that while it's out. Probably better if these aren't pointing directly into it, though. But yeah, to everyone on K's side, if you do need to raid and run, by all means, I'm not going to stop you. I am just trying to be my silly self and get my own stuff going, so we'll be here, just resting, working on Apparently, an exorcist who was married is no longer anymore. So they gave this variant a nice black sheen to it compared to the very blue sheen of the normal model. Oh, we're getting into the wings. Ooh, this is going to be fun. Let's see here. We need the bees. Okay. We've seen the bee boards a lot, but have we used them? No. Because they just have gigantic wings on them, and they have been the most annoying thing to keep sorted. That was Q. There's B. And it even mentions a number on there, too. Just in case you mess it up. I'm trying to think of other universes that would be interesting to do kit building from. Because I know the main thing for me is just the fact that these kinds of kits are hard for me to get, because you can only really get them in, like, Mississauga. And that's not exactly simple for me to do. May as well just grab the other one as well. We may need all 4 of these. Dude. But technically speaking, I can get them. Just, it's not the easiest transition process from their store to mine. Or their store to my place, rather. Let's see. Need our first big-ass wing. There are some Gunpla kits I can get in my town, but they're like the cheap, really cheap beginner kits. Which is not... Well, it's good for my wallet, but they're not really tied to anything I care about. I need D and A for these two. I don't think I have the D and A's from the MHO6 set yet. That would be D. Is this for MHO6? I would assume so. This is why you keep everything handy. You know, one thing I should actually pitch to Solace in them, if we have the opportunity to. We could look into Vermintide for our Wednesday game streams. They are complicated and they are difficult, but that is kind of the point, so... Nothing's really lost if we try and run those and fail. These don't have the MHO6 label on them. Okay, that's not these boards. These are different. Oh. I will say this is the one problem with this kit. They very much reuse the same letters for different set parts of this. Because they separate it between the main body, all of her armor, and then the gun. So there are like 3 sets of A boards. There's a few sets of D boards. And just a few sets of everything, and it gets very annoying. Oh. Be you. What a... No, you're L2. You're fine. And you are a secondary B, so we don't need you. There's another D. That's the MH06 one. Okay. We are at least rolling on the D. Gonna have to find the A as well. There's D. That is an A board, but... Okay, yeah, that is the MH06. Cool. Lovely. Um, Probably should put the MH06 in their own little pile, just that way I don't lose them. Because God forbid these get mixed up any more than they need to. Dude. Alright, so what did I need from here? This is D, I needed 1. Always got to get the number 1D when you're working on Gunpla, right? There. And then... needed one of the A's. There. You can go there for now. Then A needs 2. There. Okay. So start off with wing. And then we're just kind of building these out to be thicker, I suppose. Which is not the worst thing to do. It's not like these will be difficult to actually get in the first place. There we go. I'm assuming it'll want us to build these like 6 times, because there's a lot of these plates in this build. But this kit will also help us in the future, because at least for the people who have seen the Elden Ring playthrough in the past, and I guess to some extent the Dark Souls one, I very much enjoy the idea of a church that just worships hammers. So eventually we'll be able to kind of custom kit bash a Church of Bonk representative in Gunpla form. So this kit will help out tremendously with that. Let's see. Need stuff off of M2. Ooh, we're getting the dowels on Zed. Oh, that's not going to be fun. Need 9. I suppose what we'll just have to keep an eye out for with making a Church of Bonk representative is a gunpla that actually uses a hammer. That's actually rarer than you'd think. Up. Okay, now we gotta get into the Z board. I do not like getting into the Z board. Those pieces are absolutely tiny. And I'm gonna have to find it again. Oh, there it is. So let's see here. We need 2 and we need 4. I am just going to keep these ones close to me for now because these pieces are tiny as hell and they will go flying if I'm not holding very close. Or not holding them very tightly. Two and 4. Okay. Probably will need that a lot here. Let's see, they just squeeze together, so... Because you're a hinge. It is always surprising to me just how the bigger VTubers out there can get away with being lewd very easily. Let's see. I think that is actually the right side for it. So we put the dowel in here. And then we slip this into the upper hole. I am surprised that that actually has enough connectivity to stick there. That seems like that would be a little weak, if anything. Alrighty, now I get to do the same with the other half, so... we grab the other big wing. I really should just be using the actual webcam view, just that way I can actually show you guys while I'm cutting stuff. I can have eyes in different areas instead. I also feel a little mean that I'm using one of my Miku figures just to hold some of these plates up against. Helps me keep a visual on them. Don't think we need K2 yet, right? You can go back over there. You will probably want 4. There we go. Nope. Not enough. Okay. There we go. So there's the D board cleared out. And the A. 3. Yeah. There. There. And there. Okay. A board is good. Then we just put our missing links in to thicken up. It's such a minor addition, too. You'd think they would have just printed that hole. Guess not, though. Right. Then we gotta get our hinge back out. The hinge, which I'm going to be very careful with, because they don't give you any extra of these pieces, as much as I wish they would. we go. We also need the M2 because we need the other bit here. There we go. Then we shouldn't need M2 for a bit, so we will worry about that shortly. Oh. Yeah, hopefully everyone's at least having a good weekend so far. With it being a long weekend up here, at least, I'll at least be able to rest a little bit more tomorrow, because I won't have to worry about rushing my butt off on Monday to actually wake up for work. But it'll at least be nice to rest up a little bit where possible. So there's that. There we go. So then these just get to slot in on the back of her head. So she actually gets quite a lot of air. And since those are on pure hinges, you can just angle them in any goddamn direction. Ooh, this is why this model gets large, by the way. Because base form, not much on her. Once we start getting all the armor out, though, that's when stuff starts getting a little silly. That's partly why I wanted the Exorcist model. Oh. Nope, that's not great. I need to fix this hinge. Come on, buddy, get in there. Actually, I forgot I had the pliers from last time. I used that to get some awkward pieces to just get together. Especially ones I couldn't see. Because that does dent the plastic a little, but you're not going to see the part anyways. Not really a huge concern. There we go. Alright. So she now has a back plate. And there's a significant amount of text on the next pages, so I'm a touch concerned. Especially considering it wants me to remove the face for some reason. I'll just leave it like that for now. And at least when it comes up, we can take all the parts apart, but she will just exist for now. It's fine. Because why would you want me to remove her face? Oh, actually, it wants us to do the other half of this equation now, which did kind of require us to take this whole thing apart, so... Alright, girl. Sorry, but we are now taking you to pieces, because I'm going to need your torso for stuff. Phrasing that admittedly sounded incredibly wrong. Note to Twitch, I'm not trying to do anything bad. This Gunpla kit requires us to take it apart a lot. Come on, you can do it. Okay. So now we are taking off the collar, and only the collar. I guess the easiest way to take off the collar is taking off her chest, so... Can't exactly fault that. Let's see. So take off the collar, put the chest back on, grab a different collar. This is why we have this bucket, by the way, for all the small pieces that are just going to be completely lost if I'm not careful. A head, an arm, and a leg, sure. A loincloth and a collar piece? Not a chance in hell. Yeah, 4. Don't... Alrighty. There we go. Now she's got a more boss-like collar on her torso. Ooh, interesting. We are taking the arms apart for this as well. Okay. And we're actually using the U board as well. Although what we're specifically doing is just removing the hand for the moment and getting rid of the wrist piece, which is another thing that's going in here. I'm just not going to snap that shut for the moment. I'm sure that won't be a catastrophic error. Alright, you are all very beautiful tonight, and you should be taking care of yourselves. E, B, C, U, M2. So we're going to need M2 again, so may as well just keep that out. U. I do not remember what board is U. You're L2 and K2. I am under the impression that this is not flesh, so... Oh, we're going to need Q. I don't think there's many of the Q boards. So Q. I'm collecting a very impressive pile of plastic bags. That is A. This is one of the MHO6As. May as well just keep that out as well. We're probably going to need to build something with that. Alright, so MHO6 pile is over there. I am looking for you. That is R. Oh, U is one of the blue boards. Okay. Not what I was expecting. Like the one blue board you just don't have to touch yet. There we go. Getting all the shiny stuff in. So let's see here. Oh, I actually missed a step above. Whoops. You guys can go over here for a second. I like to do order of operations where I can. So let's see here. Need O2 and K2. K2 was one of the gray boards. Alrighty. Need 10. Another one of these really dangerous tiny color pieces. She's dressing for success. That is what matters. There. Okay. Then we don't need to worry about O2 for a little bit. Alrighty, so K2 goes down first. Just there on the little blue collar. And then this... Oh. That can pop off, apparently. Good to know. There we go. The blue collar immediately hidden by just a large, admittedly cleavage plate. Looking at it. Alright, back to the arms. We needed a few different things. You are one. We also need Q. Alright, brain, can we remember which board... Wait, Q. We had Q. We keep joking about it. Where did I put it down? Q. And then we need M2 and L. Just L? Pretty sure there are two of these boards. There kind of has to be. Let's see. And we'll need M2 as well. I'll just keep M2 over there for the moment. Let's see, L. L is a tiny S board, so give me 1 second. Yep, there it is. Hidden in a place my hand wouldn't reach normally. Okay, so let's see here. We need number 4 from this board, which are actually quite small. Does anyone feel old hearing Carmel Dawson again? Was a pretty infectious dance back in the day too, so if people somehow don't remember it, then congratulations. But also just be careful. This song can get a lot of millennials going. Then Q. You are the mythical Q boards. What do I need? 4? There we go. This kid apparently likes putting blue linings inside of other pieces, which is fair. It was not a level of detail I was expecting. It doesn't even say to glue these in necessarily, which is a little concerning. These actually click in? I guess so. And then M2 and this piece off of L. We'll kind of need the little brace off of here as well, so nothing too unexpected. There. Then may as well get this piece out now, just while we're here. Because unfortunately, that's the last piece of the L board. You do not need it for much. I'll cut that after. So what do I need here? I needed that and M2, 3. I can only imagine that the translucent color, or the translucent resin that they have to use for their kits is a little bit weaker, just because all of the translucent boards are bent slightly. Which is not what I was fully accepting, but expecting, rather. There we go. There we go. Nice blue inlay there. All right. Okay. So we take off a hand. We put our new bracket on there. Oh, this is an exchangeable piece, so we can either use the full guard, fully open guard, or the half guard. There we go. And it does want you to do the same on the other arm as well, so come here, mythical chest of tiny pieces that have apparently little value. There we go. And it does give you enough copies of pieces to just either duplicate or use both. I think just to keep the boards clean enough, I'll just use the one we already built. I'm fine if those mismatch for the moment. I can always just go back and reconstruct it later. I just know there's a lot of different ways this kit gets put together, so I'd rather just clean that part up later. There. And then our board. There we go. Not too shabby, I'd say. Alright, arm guards are on. Looks like they want us to do the augmentation on the legs now, and the legs don't seem to have a variable point on them. It does appear like we're losing feet, though. Sorry, VTuber feet. This time you're not getting them. So let's see. Oh, it didn't actually want you to take the hip joint out. Whoops. I could have left the hip joint on the body. You just need to remove the lower leg. I'm sure this doesn't look wrong whatsoever. Okay. Only a slightly mutilated body. That's what they wanted to leave you with. Alright, so we start with the one that goes out. Okay. So we remove feet. And we just take this part off for now. But that will be coming back. So the foot gets to go away for now, because I'm not sure if I'll keep regular feet on this one. Alrighty. So first things first, 2 pieces off of Q, which will be 1 and 3. 3 are these. What's 1? Oh boy. One or very tiny wings. Okay. Oh god, a nightmare version of Maya ha ha, Maya he, Maya ho, Maya ha, Maya ha ha, Maya he, Maya ho, Maya ha, Maya ha ha. Nightcore is also filled with a lot of very old songs, unsurprisingly. Hello, sunt viejo. What does it want you to do with this? Tiny instructions on tiny instruction booklet. Let's see here. Oh, this is one of the parts that we glue on. I guess that makes sense. This does look like a more permanent fixture. Well, it's a good thing. I actually managed to find good crazy glue for this with just a very tiny nozzle just for this purpose. Because goddamn, does this kit not like just snapping everything together? So it wants you to put... Oh, oh, really wants you to glue that? Oh, I guess if it wants you to glue that, sure. Obviously, all please be careful when you have crazy glue. Glue like this is not meant for mortal souls. That's why you have to have it sealed all the goddamn time. I'll just leave that to settle for a quick sec. Okay. So you get a brace. Then we need another separator from the K2 board. Nine, apparently? There we go. So when it comes to this one, we take this from the back and slip that up on there. with a very odd connector to get the knee pad on. Oh, it wants you to glue the knee pad onto this part. Oh no. Although this one makes more sense. There's not exactly a connecting point on the back of these legs at all. It admittedly can stay on, but there's a very, very loose connection there. Oof. That's not great. What are you expected to do then if you just glue that on? I guess you can technically still take it apart. And then you would essentially just be left with that to take off if you ever want to put her back into a normal state. Alright. I can understand your logic. Almost feels better that I can go here. Yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah, right. VTuber model. I guess I gotta keep that in check, don't I? Oh. Nope. That's upside down. Oh, there we go. I guess they're kind of half expecting you to let that set for a bit, aren't they? There we go. That is nasty leg armor, too. Alright, let's see here. Gonna need more stuff off the U board. Oh. No, we're going from regular feet to high heels. Okay, that makes sense. We're gonna be fighting in a combat skirt anyway, so we may as well get the heels in as well. So let's see, 2, 3, and 5. And here. There's 2. And 3. And then 5. Have they even seen 5? Okay. Alright, so step 1 on shoes. Taking one tiny piece, slapping on these two very carefully, apparently. Oh, this is an awkward construction of a shoe, isn't it? Hold on. Yeah, you've got all the holes. Okay. And so these two would connect together? Sorry, this one can't be done with my hand showing. It is awkward. Oh. Oh. No, little buddy, you just need to go in there. Somehow. Mm. But hopefully at least everyone's still having a fantastic night. Oh, we will figure this out. As long as I can understand these instructions. It's probably just my eyes playing tricks on me here. So they're supposed to connect together around the heel. So how do these guys actually connect then? Ah, there it is. Okay. And then you are supposed to be fitting in between them? Really? Do I have the dexterity to do this? Oh, wait. Is that a hole on the top of the keel as well? Hmm. This may be a time for dumb bitch energy. Let's see. Right about the 2 hour mark? Maybe a good time for a break, just that way I can stand up and stretch. Oy. Unfortunately, doing work like this isn't really great on one's joints. So why don't you all stand up for a little bit, maybe refresh your drinks, and I'll be back in like 5-ish minutes or so. Just enough time to actually crack my back and make sure that I'm not breaking myself. So, yeah, take care of yourselves and I'll be back. That should work. Hello again. Did actually get that to work. They want you to be very precise, and it's honestly not something I can do, holding all three pieces together, so that's fun. Yeah, hopefully everyone's at least having a good evening. We'll go for another couple hours here, just to see how far we can get with getting this armor together. But we might need to have another stream of this, just because this is a slightly complex one compared to Grandma. Oh, hey there, Aiden. Welcome in. Yeah, it is coming together so far. We kind of had to take it apart a little bit, just so that way we can get the armor brand going a little bit, but that's alright. But how are things going on your side? You enjoying the weekend so far? Ooh, that requires sanding. Where did I put my sanding board? Have a brutal headaches. I've been chilling. How about you? Nothing too much. I did get a slightly better crafting setup put together, just that way you can actually see what's on the board. Unfortunately, that mouse mat I had before was not the best option for it, so figured we can use a separate tablecloth or something, just so that way it is a little bit more legible when we're working on the black crafts. I kept thinking the headphones on the mouse mat were real. No, just a simple 30 Seconds to Mars reference, I think it is. Someone got me the mouse mat. They looked very 3D. They did look actually pretty real, which is not a bad thing. But no, it was just a 30 Seconds to Mars thing. Someone got it for me just because I always say that music is something that runs my life. So they thought that was the most appropriate gift to get me for a Christmas exchange. It's not a bad mat, just not great for crafting. That should be fine. Yeah, we're just chilling. Getting stuff done. As you do. Apparently making some really nasty looking high heels right now, so admittedly not too bad, but would probably be a bitch to walk in. No, not at all. Not at all. Now we gotta get it on this leg, though. And they probably should have warned you to put the foot on first, because this leg guard is not very easy to work around. But we manage. Boy. I suppose other than the pounding headache, do you have anything fun planned for the long weekend, or is that still kind of a work in progress for now? Honestly feels like there should be something additional on there. There's just a giant open space back here. But that's how they want you to build it, so who am I to complain? Work in progress for sure, lots of chores. I can understand that. Probably similar on my end, to be honest with you. Got some cleaning to do. Gotta get laundry prepped and all that. But that's nothing super new. Granted, August now at the very least, so we're almost to the winter months and we can stop worrying about this heat. Weekends are fun when you're an adult. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with being an adult. There's nothing wrong with wanting to just never grow up. I suppose at least as an option, being an adult does let you kind of choose what you want to do yourself, right? So, nothing wrong with that. Dude. And that's why I can spend money on plastic kits of small robot people without having to worry too much about that. Let's see. Need keyboard again. True, kind of like I'm gonna choose to lay on the couch all night and watch Taskmaster. Taskmaster, Taskmaster. That's a British online show that features a bunch of people doing like challenges with comedians, right? Well, I don't really watch like a ton of traditional TV-based stuff, right? Although Taskmaster is probably on YouTube, but I have seen like little bits and pieces of it, so like I know of it, just I don't actively watch it. I should though. It'd probably be a good source of chuckles. Dude. Yeah, it's certainly not something that I would usually go for. It does look interesting though. I remember seeing a clip of one of the gals who I think the point of it was to steal something from the Taskmaster that time, and she just ended up taking his wife out to dinner. So that was kind of fun. Oh, also, we have access to crazy glue now, so some of these kits are a little bit more complex. I remember that. I mean, it does seem like they have fun on Taskmaster, so I'm not going to fault them too much. Don't glue your fingers together. Don't worry. I'll be fine. As a nice comparison point, here is hand, here is the size of the glue. It is very tiny, and the nozzle is even tinier. It is going to be very hard to actually glue my fingers together. But they want you to do certain click-in points because they didn't leave room for things to actually get together. Having done it before, it ain't that hard. Hey there, Non. Welcome in, and thank you. I did them today. Admittedly, I didn't do the best job with it, but considering I wear the black shirt with it, it seemed the most appropriate. But how are you doing, Non? Evening going well? We're trying to be a little careful, as Aiden pointed out, to not glue our hands together, so you'll have to forgive me a moment if what I'm working on isn't quite in frame. Doot. And we just put a little bit of glue right here. Oh, that actually poured out quite a lot more. Never mind, apparently we have the potential of gluing our hands together. Good call, Aiden. Pretty sure it's fine to actually have that on your skin, so... It's fine. Admittedly, it's just kind of hard to see, but... Wow, a lot actually came out there. That's actually weird. It's fine, though. Doing well. Have to find some BS jobs to apply to just to make the unemployment office happy. So having accepted an offer, I still have to apply to places to get unemployment until you start. Oh, that is bullshit. Do your applications for the offer you got not actually count? Or do you need something more traditional like getting Walmart or something on your side? Hmm. I did keep the box. Give me a second just to get this glue off my hands. Oh no, unemployment here requires that we apply to at least 3. What the fuck? At least 3 to receive benefits? That's kind of nasty, all things considered. Although, I guess it makes some sense. At least when you're thinking about unemployment, you have to at least show that you're trying to find an avenue to work with. Can't say I've dealt with unemployment up here, but I feel like that is going to be more of a location to location based thing. Technically, it's 3 work search activities. That just sounds like something for grade school. Alright, kids, in order to get your A, we're going to have you enroll in 3 work searching activities. Please do your best to complete this task before the end of the day. Otherwise, we're going to have to assign you homework of finding 3 more. ELO, e-learning opportunities. And hey there, Nana. Hopefully your food went well. I guess professional development wouldn't count. Can't whittle away at a certificate. No. They're probably looking for you to have an attempt at either the field that you're trying to apply for or just the fact that you're trying to get a job, period. But yeah, hopefully speaking, you can actually get a few extra ones out there just so that way you can keep the unemployment office happy. The government's always a pain when you're dealing with money, so... Well, the government in general. Obviously, being on the Canadian side, mine's going to be different from yours, but... Can't imagine it's any better in Canada versus the US. Anyway. At least when the super glue dries, it's not the worst thing to get off. Definitely annoying, though. So I'll have to keep a better eye on application going forward. Just applying to jobs is not hard, just knowing that I have to do it when I have one, but I still need the income until I actually start. Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's an unfortunate truth when it comes to game dev, isn't it? You can get hired on for a project pretty easily, but if the project itself hasn't actively started, then you gotta make sure you can still pay rent or mortgage or anything, really. Come on. Thankfully, none of it seemed to get on my nails this time, so it's just scraping it off my fingers. Hmm. You could almost get away with that. Oh, thank you, Saribot. I can't believe we're still getting those spam bots for trying to find cheap viewers. They obviously gotta hit some people, but I really wish that whoever was just trying to spam VTubers with it would stop. Usually speaking, most VTubers aren't children. Nope. So you can't quite get away with scamming all of them with cheap viewer bots. Mm, mm, that's what that's doing. Okay. Yeah, Saribot's at least doing his job. As nice as it is to be a streamer and how VTubing can help you out a little bit with not having to worry too much about exposing yourself to the world, the fact that there are people who incessantly target VTubers for scams is kind of sad, really. But I guess if we're on the internet, finding a scam really shouldn't be that big of a surprise, now should it? Okay. Got most of it off. It's fine. Still surprised I actually got that much of it to pour out, though. You can kind of see where I fucked up on that. Because there's just a really awful stain on the side of it now. And unfortunately, I'm pretty sure super glue kind of melts this kind of plastic. Wonder if I could just sand it away. I guess a good recommendation for all the crafters out there. Be very careful with your glue. I was going to say acetone takes that off, but it would 100% eat the plastic. Yeah. You can probably just buff it off. Or I'll just have to take the L on that and find another way to fix it later. feel like we're progressing back on the Gunpla. Not exactly, no. When you're making Gunpla like these, they tend to have like multiple outfit levels. So you would generally build like a standard version of it, and then you would build the armored version, just because they... I'm still going to need that, actually. They want you to stick to a certain available option for it. Which isn't too surprising, all things considered. Alright. So at least when it comes to these, we're going to need to do one more bit of gluing, unfortunately, so just got to be careful this time. Try not to go overboard, you little bastard. Cleaning you up is a pain. Hmm. Put you in. And then let that cure for a sec, and then put this evil thing away. Because I don't want to do any more cleanup on you where possible. Alright. So, main section of leg goes into the top. Oh. Then the foot, or the calf rather, gets to go in on the bottom. Okay. Now we gotta do the other foot. And as we learned from the last time, this is not a simple process. So you'll have to forgive the level of patience on this part, because putting 3 together at once isn't quite as easy as the rest of them. Because at least for those who weren't here before, they essentially want you to put the heel piece, which is this one, in between these two brackets, which form up the basic palm of the foot. It is not great, but apparently that was the only way they could figure out to actually put that in there. So let's see here. You were the middle piece. You kind of want to put the one with the main connector holes on the bottom. And then you have a little slot which can be put in there. And funnily enough, it does not recommend you actually glue this section. They honestly just want you to squeeze all three of these together without thinking too much about it. There's a slight way to do it with just putting the heels together enough, so that way you can just flick this guy in. Oh, almost got it. Okay. Considering that took me like 20 minutes last time to figure out. Not the worst. Alright, Q. I need that other top of the foot. Although Q is the blackboard. Such itty-bitty pieces. Oh yeah. Don't worry about that, Aiden. When it comes to Gunpla, itty-bitty pieces is very much part of the appeal, unfortunately. So you kind of have to... This is honestly a good way to train your dexterity as well, because cutting these pieces off of the resin boards themselves takes a good amount of precision. Because you'll notice I haven't exactly been sanding a whole lot. I am getting a little better with my cuts at least, just so that way they aren't having too many tiny little nibs. Since obviously these are proper resin boards, you're going to have to snip off tiny, tiny little pieces from even tinier little cutouts. Although I'm not perfect, so there is a little bit of sanding needed, unfortunately. But that is the appeal. You get to make your own little figures. You get to put them together yourself. No huge problem. But I guess it does require a little bit of patience just to get it going. So it's not quite for everybody. And admittedly, if you have smaller hands, it's probably easier. And then we can just shove you into here. Enough so that you gotta worry about not snapping pieces either. Because you're working on such small connecting pieces that you just worry that eventually one of these is going to snap off. But they're intended to stay together that way. You just need to be careful is all. Let's see. Well, we're on the next page at least, but what are we building? Oh, thank you, Nano. All good there. Enjoy your foods. We'll still be here for a little bit. Mm. Also, hard to not recommend. Good 40-ounce thermos. Manages to keep my water cold for a couple days with effort. Let's see. So I need O2. O2. What board was O2 again? That's K2. That's not O2, right? No, it's L2. O2 should be one of the blackboards, I'm pretty sure. Because the blue board is M2. That's Q. Yeah, there's O2. And then D for MHO6, which should be U. Yes. Okay. So we need... I guess we're doing both of these at the same time, technically. The most intricate IKEA assembly. I mean, all things considered, yeah, that is basically what it is. Let's see, 6. At the end of the day, you're just putting together something fun for yourself to show off to your friends. And without actively lying about saying that you did, in fact, put it together yourself. Guess we're doing both of these since they're symmetrical anyways. So we'll grab both of them and just kind of go along with the steps just so we don't have to go back and do it. I guess thinking on that, I have needed a new bookshelf. I probably should see if IKEA would be able to deliver one of those boxes here. That would help out a good bit, actually. There we go. Then grab the other 8 while we're here. There we go. Yeah, it's always a question lately if I should be grabbing more manga for a physical collection. Because I do read a decent amount of it, but I'm not really buying any physical sets of them. Which I realistically should try to do. Let's see. So I want you to go in through this side. And then... Okay, that works. Physical books are nice if you have the space. Yeah. There is a little bit of room that I could put a bookshelf in. So it's not the worst idea, at the very least. So it might be worth looking into. Oh crap, we need stuff on the PCA boards. These guys are absolutely tiny. They did give you plenty of extra pieces of those, though, so... No real harm or foul in this case. Absolutely tiny thing, though. You lose those super quickly. So let's see here. I just need A. I'd have a much bigger physical library if I didn't have to move every few years, because rent prices keep hiking up. Yeah. The housing market right now in Canada is not exactly doing any better either, unfortunately. So, I understand that pain. I'm mostly just thankful for the fact that I did get in a little early. So, my prices are fine, and if I move out, I'm completely fucked. But that's just what you gotta swing with sometimes. Dude. But I'm comfortable enough in my current living space, so if I'd be moving, it would be simply for pleasure. Because at least for the general term, there's nothing inherently wrong with where I live. It's just not amazing, you know? It still technically gets me everything I need. But not the greatest. Oh. Kin's on the doodle section already. I guess that's a good sign, though. We're not exactly worrying about being at the end with Kin. Let's see here. Special instruction on the tiny piece. What do you got? The square end pokes out. Okay. Then this goes... I'm really hoping this next job I'm starting lasts, because the salary is high enough that I might actually be able to afford a house down the line. Well, I can certainly hope so. You mentioned before that this was kind of a dream position for you, so if it does work, I can really hope they keep you on, because you do good work. Oh. And if you can actually get to a point where you can afford a house down the line, even better. There we go. Yeah, unfortunately getting your own house is tricky, to say the least. Then all of this just clicks in. My current standing, at least, is not quite one where I'm in a super good range to get a house, but fortunately, being single in the Canadian economy is not very easy to save money for housing. So, what can you do, right? Just gotta roll with it and make sure you're actually staying up there. Yeah, the team's really cool. I like the games they make, and the stability sounds really promising. Well, I mean, if you've got a good option, can only really hope you can keep it, right? So wishing you the best of luck with them. And you'll have to let us know when any of the games you do work on come out. Because I know you worked on Lamplighters League before, and I was going to buy it, but when you mentioned that they pretty much termed your team immediately after, I kind of second guessed that. Because I doubt any of the money off of that was really going towards you guys at all. That's probably alright. There we go. I'm still pretty proud of Lamplighters League, so I just suggest people play it if they like the genre or style. Okay. I suppose out of spite, then, I'll wait for it to at least go on sale, because for firing one of my mods, I'd prefer to not give them full price on that. If you guys are actually getting money back on it, then maybe, but not for finishing the game and then just canning the team. That's just incredibly rude. Even though I know that's part of the gaming market, it's still bad. Oh. Sorry, Miku statue. I'm joining the live service team for Cozy Grove Camp, so technically the game I'm working on is already out. I mean, that is a good thing. There we go. Yeah, I've been meaning to look into Cozy Grove anyways. Camp Spirit you mentioned is on mobile, right? I can definitely see about downloading that. Cozy Grove in and of itself is something I knew from Aiden, to be honest with you, because they enjoy it a good bit. But with having a mobile game, that does definitely make it a little bit more accessible. Do wonder if I could keep it winter all year round, because that would be fun. Let's see. I'm a cozy games ho. Hey, I mean, that's not a bad thing, Aiden. When it comes down to it, we do kind of need some time to just rest and relax, right? We can't really just be out here playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 76 all the damn time. We gotta sit down and, keep an eye out on the good things. They're popping out. Camp Spirit is the sequel on mobile, totally free if you have a Netflix account. Wait, free if you have a Netflix account? What if you don't have a Netflix account? It requires a Netflix account. Okay, that's a new one. Requiring Netflix might actually make my Netflix account worthwhile. Yeah, it is kind of hard to justify it at times, but I probably should get it. There are some shows that just kind of get split between Netflix, Crunchyroll, Hulu, and a few of the other anime apps. And maybe that would actually get me interested in watching movies again. Studios owned by Netflix, which is why I mentioned the high salary and stability. Yeah, admittedly, I'm not going to fault that. Oh, I actually need different pieces. Uh, that's B. These are the A boards, right? Yeah. Well, there's nothing really wrong with getting a job with high salary and stability, so certainly wishing you luck with that. I unfortunately haven't done a ton of research into the Netflix gaming division to see whether or not they are good with their development teams. Or at the very least, if the main studio is. I'd imagine they are, but... There we go. Then we need both of the 4s for the moment. Oh boy, these are the armor skirt pieces, if I recall correctly, so this part's going to be big. There we go. I mean, it's new, so there's still stuff they're figuring out. Well, I can only hope that they learn good business practices and not just absolutely canning your teams, because god damn it, do you guys need a break? Okay. Listening enough to pirate software has taught me that I'm kind of glad I never went for the game dev stuff, because it does feel like, honestly, going into art as a career. And I mean no offense on that front, but it sounds like a hell of a gamble. And knowing my luck, I never win those kind of gambles. Really appreciate not having to worry about layoffs for a long while. I can only hope so, none. Because at least when it comes down to it, you got into a good studio. They're well known for their work by some degree. So we can only hope for the best. Let's see. It does feel unpredictable. It's mostly just because game dev as a career is, it's not really new by any stretch of the imagination, just because you've had computer development for a while now. But just the idea of getting people to work on a computer to make something that's just meant for fun and not meant for work. There we go. Can be a bit of a hard sell at times, unfortunately. So they think they can get away with doing anything, and it's honestly pretty sad just how much people just get thrown around in that field. And I mean, case in point, Non is a good example of that already. Yep. Sorry, these skirt pieces are going to be a little messy just because you have a lot of them to do. Alright, time for the ones. Man, my brain is just fried on the gaming market lately. I used to keep like a pretty extensive eye on things just to see like what games were coming out and what things I was actually looking out for. But I really just have not been doing that. Dude. Dude. Because I think the only thing on my gaming radar right now is the eventual announcement for Hollow Knight Silksong for whenever Team Cherry is able to get that done. I think we're getting more news on that like next year, or it's planned for release next year. So, yay, at least. They're getting somewhere with that. And then Monster Hunter Wilds, I'm pretty sure, is the only other one, really. But considering our Wednesday night gaming sessions, that shouldn't be super surprising. Dude. There is thankfully a few YouTubers out there who do work pretty closely with Capcom. So we did get to hear a little bit about the hunting horn and how apparently that's going to be changing again. Which I'm sure Izo is far too pleased with, because the hunting horn in Rise was not perfect by any stretch. Could have been worse, but not perfect either. Dude. I'm honestly still trying to figure out what weapon I would want to main in Wilds. We still have a good amount of time until that happens, but kind of need to come down to a decision on that front. Dude. Because we're doing Gunlance in World. I believe in Rise I was working on Hammer? At least if memory serves. And the only weapons I haven't done a lot with are things like bow. Well, the bow guns in general. The bow guns, swax, charge blade. If we do have Solace in the party, he will most likely be playing Lance, so we don't exactly need multiple Lance players at the same time. Not that it's like an unwritten rule or anything, but it'd be nice to learn a weapon. Dude. Alright. 4 wings. So, what's the next part of this? We're combining all these together. Okay. So let's see here. There we go. And there we go. Pretty intimidating piece, all things considered, with how tiny everything else has been. Come on. Okay, so we get 2 of those. And what's the other piece I need to stick on? O2. 1 and 5. Okay, guess these are directional pieces then. Big E to create a lot of duplicates. And then the last piece is what deigns it to go in one place. Okay. So then, with it being on the bottom end, you want to stick this into here? Okay, yeah, intimidating. Okay. And then it looks like it wants us to put those wings to oh, it wants us to put together more of the wings we put on the head. That's why these look familiar. Okay. And it looks like you only want 1 of these? Really? I guess it wants both, so let's just get the other cap off first. And get that on. Just that way I can get rid of the O2 board. Suddenly hearing Stamp on the Ground even sped up is sending me back at least 10 years. Oh, don't worry. I would listen to this song normally even without the Nightcore mix too, so you're not the only one who used to listen to it in the past. But I remember it from an old Newgrounds animation or YouTube animation. There we go. Yep, was going to mention the Flash animation. Yeah. That opened up a couple doors for me when I was younger, which is not inherently a bad thing. I will mention that. But they're still going, if I recall, as well. I think they're doing a fan comic for Undertale that focuses on Papyrus and Sands. I'm not sure if they were still going with that, but that was the last thing I knew they worked on. Really wish I remembered their name, though. Because they weren't like a super popular creator, but they were just well known for that animation, and then they got into Undertale pretty hard. Let's see. The A boards. But I think Stamp on the Ground was probably one of the songs that just kind of got me into electronica more when I was younger. Because, like, Daft Punk is definitely up there as one of the main benefactors of it. But specifically Dance on the Ground, specifically Stamp on the Ground was one that was an earworm back then, which isn't a bad thing. Zarla was her name? Thank you. I think Zarla probably opened up a few people to a few things because that animation was very popular. It looked in a way where doing memes based on songs was probably going to be in people's benefit, and her wider range of characters probably helped a few people when they were younger. There we go. A few folks when they were younger to design and actually get into OCs. What pieces do I need from D? Need those. My desk is such a mess right now. Considering we are at a point where we're just building armor sets, I'd assume we're going to put these together soon. Because, like, everything's been modified already. Actually, thinking on it, Zarla was part of the reason I actually thought of to do a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon story. Because I remember that one section of the Stamp on the Ground animation where there was the pretty injured Raichu and the Parasect. I never really went back to see what the plot line for that was about, but just the idea of, oh hey, that's not a normal Raichu, that's actually something a bit more customed, kind of got me thinking that I could look into that, and eventually I came across a group that was a little more focused on mystery dungeon roleplay, so I had a Magnemite and a Porygon just to fuck around with. So that was fun. Let's see. Interesting that they only want you to do one. How's the autopsy going? It's going pretty well. We're kind of just putting together her armored skirt at the moment, I believe. But we should be getting close to the next standing up portion of this. Because we've modified a lot of pieces already. And they're all just kind of laying around. Might actually put the head away too. Good old armored skirt. I mean, you always need an armored skirt. Alright, page turn. Yep, we're on assembly. Just make sure to shove everything on, and then you can attach... Oh, no. Oh, we're finally accessing the R board. Wow, it has been a while since we've had to think about the R board. Okay. Alright, well, first things first. May as well get the body together. So... put these to the side for a moment. I put the head on backwards. There we go. Then head up a little. We'll get these ear flaps out of the way for a moment. And then put the arms on. Oh. I've fallen into the content hole that is villainous light novels recently. There are definitely a lot of villainous light novels, so any specifics that you'd want to discuss on, or... Because I know at the very least that there's a lot of villainous manga lately. Like My Life as a Villainess, because that's a very popular topic. I'm not sure why it's a popular topic, but it is a popular topic. No. The wrist guard is apparently light on the touch, so you gotta be careful. Noted. Really enjoyed The Condemned Villainess, goes back in time and aims to become the ultimate villain, which is a hell of a title. That is a light novel title, though. I'll at least give it that. Because I know one of the major ones was My Life as a Villainess, which did at least get an anime adaptation and a manga. So people do like the idea of just being isekai'd, well, either isekai'd or time traveled as the villain. Nope. I'm trying to think of any of the villainess stories that I may have read, because I've definitely touched on a couple of them. I'm also liking Seventh Time Loop, which did get an anime recently. Seventh Time Loop. That sounds familiar. Not sure why it's not clicking in my head, though. Both of them are not actually isekai. They're more about just going back in time. Okay, so a regressor, rather, story. Now, a regressor story over an isekai. Regressor stories are also super popular. It is almost a little scary how much, or how many stories, rather, there are of regressors. Enough so, actually, for one of the manhwa I'm reading right now, by the name of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. The main character of that isn't actually the regressor, but because Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint is an isekai based on a guy and the universe being teleported into the story that's written, that he's read and he has the copy of. He knows the main character who is a regressor, and he's following him in his current time loop. So Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint has a good amount of regressor references, at the very least. Let's see, 4. But regressor stories can just be fun in general. I'm finding more, because I do admittedly read a lot of manhwa through Webtoon that are a lot of isekai-based stories. I believe... What is the name of it? Is it Good Morning Duchess? Sorry, Reporting for Duty, Duchess. That's a fun one to read, overall. Just because that's a story of a military woman being isekai'd into a book that a friend had recommended to her. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint's very fun. There's a part in it that really made me ick out. Later in the story, there's a few very transphobic chapters. I'm gonna have to go again and check, because I have a feeling I may have glossed over that by accident. But thank you very much for the warning. Let's see. Why are there 4 copies of 7? Admittedly, I've probably glossed over a few things in Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint just because I read through that series really fast. Dude. What's another one? Reporting for Duty, Duchess is fun, if only for the fact that it's a military woman being sent to a novel that she didn't exactly read, but it's a novel that her friend had lent her. And she inhabits the body of a very timid character, and she is a reporting member for duty, so she's not exactly a pushover. And she just takes the story and says, basically gives it the middle finger and just tries to keep anything super bad from happening to her own family. which is fun because she also has military experience, so she's able to actually take control of the army and believably make it seem like she knows what she's doing when commanding them. Because, surprise, she's able to do that. Probably need the R board for other things. And here. I think if you do want to find a good amount of trans comic representation, Webtoon does have a few that I've been seeing at the very least. Let's see. And the one going forward? Oh shoot, it was an Omniscient Reader. I mixed that up with another one. Okay. I was trying to think for a second, because like I don't remember any transphobic things from Omniscient Reader's viewpoint. But I was willing to believe, because it has been a while since I've at least kept super close detail on that one. That probably shouldn't be loose. There we go. And then the leggy. So let's see. Probably need to just spread eagle a little bit here. Okay. And now we put on this massive skirt. There is nothing up there to connect with. Okay. So you go in like that. Oh, this is a massive skirt. But that is kind of expected. Nope, I was right initially. It's around chapter 175. Okay, I'll have to take a peek then. 175. I do not recall what actually happens around that point. Hmm. Oh, I have you on backwards, that's why. It is right before the current arc. I suppose if it's right before the current arc, that may be why I don't know about it, because I'm not fully caught up with it. There we go. Yeah. None in giant armored skirt. Apparently there are stickers you're also supposed to put on these as well, just to help with identifying it. A few gross chapters I still kept reading, but I don't support the author anymore. All of a sudden it's a full person. Yep. Because at least when it comes down to it, don't just need a little bit of TLC and you can get it there, right? But yeah, this is the next default form of Exorcist, so not a bad thing. Oh, yeah, I haven't actually checked on the Mission Reader in a while. Where did I get up to? Hmm. Apparently I'm on chapter 205, so I guess I need to go back and check what happened in 175. Oi. And then the next part is just putting the stand on, which is a little harder. Oh, no, the stand goes into the thing on her butt now, not her back. That makes more sense. She gains like an extra few inches comparatively. Ooh, little front heavy. Yeah, don't got it if you don't want to. I'm just saying what irked me personally. Otherwise, I think the story is interesting. Honestly, I'd prefer to not actively support transphobic stuff if I can avoid it too, non. Like, I don't obviously talk about it very much, but like, I do get along with Lemma and Nikki for a reason. It's not a very open reason, mind you, but it's a reason. Yeah, that's going to be a little top heavy now. I might have to look to see if there's any way I can maybe support it on the backside a little bit, just so that way she's not falling over. Yeah, the stand itself is pretty flimsy. It's honestly just a very, very thin piece of plastic. But that's probably why it's got this extra little nib on the back, so that way you can kind of just put a counterweight on it. That's not too bad overall. I'm going to have to work on actually posing it in this form, but that would be the armor. And part of the fun of this is that you can kind of put her in demon mode with the headset. So she's an exorcist, but an exorcist with a plan. So that's fun. Still a little bit more to go, because I think it wants us to start working on her weapons, which the default weapons in this form is apparently a pistol and a cross. So that's a good sign. Where's the cross at? Because that's just a solid piece on one of these boards. Hope all exorcists have plans. Oh, I'm sure all exorcists do. Their job in and of itself kind of requires them to go against odds that are not superhumanly possible most of the time. And this one's plan is just a gun. I think the next stream will be focusing on the bigger gun. So that's going to be fun. There's the cross at least. Which they put pretty good detail on the cross, all things considered, so nothing really shake a stick at. And then we need the gun pieces, which are apparently these extra pieces on the D board. Oh, well that's fun. Sorry, I was wrong. You have the either the option of a gun and a cross, or dual pistols. Nothing wrong with having dual pistols as your nun plan for the day. I'm assuming it's looking for 2 and 5. So there, and there. That almost cleans out the D board. So these two just snap together. Gotta go walk the pup and take care of dinner. Hope the rest of the stream's good for you. Alright, sounds good, Non. Thank you for dropping by. Oi, and enjoy the pupper walk. We probably will be done shortly, just because 4 hours is about as much as I can really handle in one sitting. But we've made good progress. We got the full armor set done, which is nothing to shake a stick at, really. I'll probably end off soon-ish, once I get the weapons put together for her. Just because I'm going to need to stand up and stretch a bit, and there's still like a good third of this book left, so we're not exactly going to be want for content. Okay. Let's see, K2. K2. K2 is one of the gray boards, right? Alright, so I only need one of these for now, so let's just cut off 5. Don't forget to recharge and realign. It's couch time for you. Sounds good there, Aiden. Hopefully you enjoy your couch time. And yeah, I'll realign shortly, I think. I do like the Gunpla stuff, but boy oh boy does the Gunpla not like me. Not quite what I would expect for a gun, but that is apparently the gun. It's like a little pistol-y thing. Let's see. Now, can I get this in the hand without any problems? No. Immediately that arm guard, I think, needs a little bit of readjusting. Okay. Sorry, my hand's kind of just blocking everything at the moment, but... Oh. You do not want to go in there, do you? So, that arm can keep the gun. See if we can keep the arm guard on here. Oh. The hand wasn't fully in. That would explain that looseness. Okay, arm guard. You can just stay off for now. There we go. And then I guess you can just hold on to the cross. The cross doesn't really need any extra pieces to it. So that's a welcome change. There we go. Oh, no, you're not allowed to slide down, buddy. There we go. Looks a little goofy for the moment, but once I get a proper pose in, I can always just post a picture of that on Twitter or some such. Because I'm not sure how to actually pose this one. It's bulky as all hell, so it doesn't quite like staying straight without pieces just kind of popping off. And you don't really want to glue everything onto models like these because some of these pieces you do want off. But, suppose if we want to do something fun. Could just do something simple. Hmm. Oh, arm guard, please. You're not even supposed to be the problem in this mess. Um, nope. These arm guards are rough. Okay. I can see as to why you may want to glue the arm guard onto the blue piece. They have a very, very loose connection. Nope. Nope. Even the other arm guard really doesn't want to stay on. I guess having the cross in that hand doesn't exactly help. I suppose that works. Flaunting the fact she's with the church while pointing one of her pistols at you. I should be able to make a decent photo with that I can put on Twitter in a bit. Oi. But yeah, I'm starting to feel that in the shoulders. Why don't we just tidy that up there? As much as I do like going for 4, the next step of this should realistically be to start putting together the main gun. Oh. You can also apparently turn her... Oh, okay. You can turn her Holy Cross into a mace as well. Huh. Well, I did say I wanted the Church of Bonk, so this is wholly sacrilegious, but you know what? I am not a churchgoer. I just like the themes of nuns with guns. Nope. Don't want you to pop out yet. Guess I should probably just go back to here. We're not quite done. And then... where's the other hammerhead at? There we go. Now it's a mace. Not sure why I didn't initially think of that, but sure, we can just have a hammer of the Holy Cross. And then, if we're lucky, that will fit in her hand without too much jostling. And then we can do some shenaniganry. Nope. 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 Can I get that hand, maybe? Doing this from afar probably isn't the smartest of ideas. Now the fun will be, eventually we'll get kits that actually have shields with them, because there's a couple of the kits that actively have sword and shield users. And then we'll be able to do some bonk and shield shenaniganry, which isn't inherently a bad thing. Oh, oh boy. Okay. Guess we're doing this the fun way then. You realistically should just be able to go in there without any problems, but you're being quite the stickler, aren't you? There we go. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to do some shenaniganry to make that actual hammer work now, but that's fine. The Church of Bonk is going to be represented in a lot of my gaming and art, if only because of the fact that when I tend to play games, I do try my best to stick to blunt weaponry where possible, because blunt weaponry is your friend. That and smiting tends to be done better with blunt weapons, most of the time at least. As anyone else may have learned while playing MapleStory specifically. Hmm. Nope. Of course, the cross fell out of the hand. Okay. We made progress. That's what matters. The model's now on a stand. We have a hammer. We have guns. We have options. I'll probably try and figure out a way to take a proper picture of that. But for now, I'll probably just wrap up since it's late and my back's hurting. But I do at least want to thank everyone for stopping by. Hopefully, speaking, you've at least enjoyed your night. I'll be back again next Wednesday to hang out with Solace and Ezo in what I assume will be our Monster Hunter stuff. Because we're not quite done with that game just yet. And at least for the moment, let me see if there is anyone we can raid. I would raid Toto for the memes, but we've raided them already this week, so don't need to push our luck in that regard. Let's see here. Who is online that I would be comfortable raiding? Did the patient survive? Yeah, the patient survived, mostly. She's a little bit corrupted now, but, like, she's alive. And it's just being a little sticky, but there is a hammer to go along with our patient now, so that's nice. We're definitely not desecrating the church or anything like that. Little corruption is good for your character? Exactly. Yeah, probably wrapping up for now, just because my back is kind of hurting anyhow. But let's see who's actually on. See, Kai is on. Celadon is also on. Hmm. Not a huge collection of people I would normally raid are on. I suppose except for Saito. We could certainly raid Saito. That how you spell it? No, it is not. There we go. There's an H in there. Alrighty, well, once again, hopefully speaking, everyone has a lovely evening. I'll be back again next Wednesday to hang out with the guys, but aside from that, that's about all the juice I can really muster at the moment. So, rest well, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again on Wednesday. But for now, bye-bye. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.